one. Do you know right now the state of South Carolina is in a very elite category or conversation? And it may not happen. I mean, chances are, I think they're probably the last team, as far as Vegas believes, that has a chance to win it all right? But they made it to the Final Four. So this is just pie in the sky for the most part right now. This is just what we do in Sports Talk Radio. Do you know that the great state of South Carolina right now has the opportunity, as far as I can tell, and I asked this question and nobody's been able to give me an answer. The state of South Carolina right now has the opportunity to be the reigning champions in all three of the big three major sports in college sports, okay? You know about the Clemson Tigers that just won the national championship in football, and a lot of people forget Coastal Carolina, which is in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Conway, South Carolina, is your baseball national champions. Now, I'm not saying the Carolina Gamecocks are going to do it. As a matter of fact, I never thought that they would make it this far, like most people. I picked Carolina to win it all. We may actually see all Carolina finals. We'll get to that in a second. But I got to be honest with you, man. The way that the South Carolina Gamecocks play defense, they got a shot. They got a shot. Okay? They got a shot. When you watch the Gamecocks play defense, that's the X factor. Like, all bets are off. If you watch how those cats play defense and how they get up in the shorts of their opponents, man, once again, very reminiscent of Nolan Richardon and 40 Minutes of Hell with the Arkansas Razorbacks. If you watch how the South Carolina Gamecocks play, they got a shot. All right? Once again, Vegas says they got less of a shot than the other three teams, but they got a shot, man. Oh, yeah, and don't forget about this. And one thing you also have to remember about South Carolina as well is they beat Duke. All right? That's all you need to know. If you're wondering, do they belong? Is this a fluke? Are they doing this with smoke and mirrors or whatever? One, they play phenomenal defense. And two, they beat Duke already in the tournament. The ACC champions, who a lot of the quote-unquote experts had winning it all. The Duke Blue Devils, Coach K, this is what they do, all right? All you need to know, and for you to silence all of the talk about this is a fluke, and they're not going to do anything, and they're about to get beaten by Gonzaga, and Gonzaga is this, that, and the other, all you need to know is two things. They play defense, and if you know anything about sports, defense wins championships. They play defense like we haven't seen in a long time. And two, they have already killed and slayed the giant. They've already beat the Duke Blue Devils. So they can do it. They can do it. They can do it. They can do it. I'm not going to say definitively they're going to do it. Hell, once again, I didn't have them going this far in the damn tournament. But if you watch how Frank Martin has coached this team all year long, they've been strong contenders all year long. They've been like a top 20 team all year long. If you watch how they play defense and you understand the fact that they beat one of the favorites in this tournament, the Duke Blue Devils, who are hot. Remember, Duke had won the ACC tournament coming into the March Madness, into the big NCAA tournament. So Duke had won the ACC tournament. They are Duke, and the Gamecocks play great defense, man. So we'll talk about their game and making it to the Final Four. We'll get into the other Final Four contenders as well. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. So that's two things that I've been thinking about this weekend. The first thing is the fact that the Carolina Gamecocks, man, played phenomenal defense, and that they have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to, seal a deal as far as all three of the big major sports being, the reigning champ being from the state of South Carolina. It's never been done before. If y'all can tell me, we talked about this all week long, then I'd like to hear that. And the other interesting thing about the Gamecocks this weekend, man, is what are South Carolina fans going to do if the Gamecocks make it to the finals and the North Carolina Tar Heels make it to the finals? Let me explain. You know, I always talk about in South Carolina, and I'm from the great state of South Carolina if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show. I always talk about how in South Carolina, people that grew up during my era, 90% of them are either Dallas Cowboy fans or Pittsburgh Steelers fans. It's kind of the same thing in South Carolina with college basketball. Most people from my era that grew up during my era, you know, in the 70s, early 80s or whatever, their formative years, most people from South Carolina are North Carolina fans. Right, because South Carolina basketball and Clemson basketball has never, ever been relevant. So you kind of follow a national brand, I guess, to a degree. Oh, well, y'all some bandwagons in South Carolina. First of all, I'm not a Carolina fan. I'm not a North Carolina fan. So I'm really not in this conversation. But to a large part, there's a ton of North Carolina Tar Heel fans in South Carolina. So I asked this question as well. And if you're from South Carolina, I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. If North Carolina and South Carolina make it to the tournament finals, to the NCAA tournament final, if they make it to the final and you're a North Carolina fan, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? If you're from the great state of South Carolina and you've been a Carolina fan all your life, maybe you've been following the Carolina Tar Heels since back in the early 70s. My earliest memory of Carolina, the Tar Heels, is probably Phil Ford. Right, so Phil Ford played for the Carolina Tar Heels in the early 70s, maybe mid-70s, man, and they had a national brand. I don't even know if they had won a national title yet at that time. You know, obviously Dean Smith and all of the great players that had come from behind them. So North Carolina and South Carolina, the fact that they're so close together, they share a border. There's a lot of South Carolina fans all their lives, for the most part, that root for North Carolina Tar Heels, the Tar Heels. So if we have an all-Carolina finals with the South Carolina Gamecocks and the North Carolina Tar Heels, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And I had a lot of people comment on that on Facebook this weekend, on social media. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They're a Carolina fan. They were born in South Carolina, but they're a Carolina fan. They've been a Carolina fan, so they're going to stick with the Tar Heels. Here's the thing. I think that this is one of those situations where this is kind of the exception to the rule. I think that the sports gods would be okay if that were to happen. Once again, it may not even happen. If that were to happen, if you had both of the Carolinas in the finals and you're from South Carolina, okay, I think the sports gods will be okay with you rooting for your home state team. I think they would be. I think they would be. Because here's the thing. I mean, North Carolina, the Tar Heels, man, they've had success for a long, long time. Probably one of the top 1, 2, or 3 programs in college basketball history. The Gamecocks ain't never did shit in the tournament. Never. And listen, it's almost like one of those things, man. I think this is the exception to the rule. It's almost like one of those things where, you know, it's almost like blood is thicker than water. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like blood is thicker than water. North Carolina, in this example, in this scenario, in this analogy, North Carolina for South Carolina people are water. And South Carolina, the Gamecocks, are blood. It's as simple as that. Blood is thicker than water at the end of the day. And I just think this is a special exception for those people that are Tar Heel fans to turn your attention, man, and put all of your support behind them Gamecocks. Yes, sir. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Some fun, fantastic games this past weekend. Pretty much it seemed like all of them came down to the very end. We'll break each and every game down from this past weekend in the NCAA tournament. Once again, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Tremendous weekend in the world of college basketball. Can't wait to talk about it with you. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. A little NFL talk to get into, a little NBA talk to get into. And I know y'all tired of hearing about it, but resting of healthy players is a topic of discussion again today. All right. A lot of y'all cats want to make excuses for these players and for these teams resting players that are healthy. And another NBA player says it's bullshit. You know, it's me. And me saying it is one thing, but when you hear it from actual NBA players that they don't agree with resting healthy players, this whole phenomenon of resting healthy players, you know, that's a different thing. And so several cats are on record. Another guy gets on record this weekend as far as that conversation, and he went all out. He went in. Yeah. So we'll talk about that on today's show as well. Once again, the number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. When we get back from the break, we'll jump into these games from this weekend, man, break each and every one of them down. We'll jump into the chat room on Spreaker.com and get your thoughts. Listen, we are moving. The Doug Stewart Show is moving to our new location very soon. And I keep saying that, but I'm serious this time. We're about to move to the DougStewartShow.com, man. Make sure you become a premium member. Go to the DougStewartShow.com and click on the little blue link. Become a member. Become a premium member. We're moving the chat room and everything over there, man. We're not going to leave Stewart Media and Entertainment on Spreaker fully, but for the most part, most of the time, we'll be on the DougStewartShow.com. All right? So here's what you need to do. Become a premium member, man. Y'all know how we do it around here. More fun than you can shake a stick at. All right? All right, so back in 3 minutes. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show.
To know who is the kid with all the soul. It's my life. I'll put on this, the world of Chris. So listen in, it unfolds with food for the mind, improving my lines, beats, and using my time wisely, inviting you to fly with me and cry with me and lie with me as I'm looking up to God, getting my energy source from my Lord is my clarity. And these facades that's blind in my path. You do the math. These other cats is bringing half. My foundation is love and patience, so I'm built to last. I feel the blast from your attack, cranberry bathing, scaring us. My soul food is more than chicken and asparagus, and greens and grits is from the heart, so now they fearing us. It's more than just music, cause the flow I'm using is serious. Real thought and rap, it's not a lotta. My punchlines touch minds. I got more catchphrases than Mike Piazza. I gotta keep this metaphorically tight, but leave it just loose enough so it'll fit around your life. Alright, for all I'm out to spit, and already did. It seems these people making plans to try to stop the kid. But dog, it's obvious, cause I must win. You can't stop it, do the math, it's not happening. For all I'm about to spit, and already did. It seems these people making plans to try to stop the kid. But dog, it's obvious, cause I must win. You can't stop it, do the math, it's not happening. These people wanna see me fail and don't think I can sell. I'm displaying my creations of art, they show and tell. I know that hell's trying to block my trail. I lock myself into my room to fuse together this music that's got to spell success and positive vibes the rest of my life. I plan to help the fail through bad vibes. I lift minds to show and expose minds. My golden balls can show your soul how to shine and hold it on the guard on life's ride. So follow me, I'll take the lead. This industry is in some need of someone to show you what's free, and that's me. I see him hitting from a distance. Every sentence I'm spitting, I'm giving sense like Jesus speaking repentance. I'm minister, witness, pennant, the title's mine. Dirty rice writes with whole hearts. These other rappers write ties. That's 10%, that's 90 left to give. So do the math and watch my path as I show you how to live. For all I'm about to spit, and already did. It seems these people making plans to try to stop the kid.